It's happened to all of us at one time or another, an upset stomach after eating. You might not even know what caused the problem. It may have been that you were eating contaminated food. Food-borne illness is quite prevalent in the home, restaurants, hotels, retail establishments, even school cafeterias. Through someone's carelessness, microorganisms were allowed to get on the food, such as chicken, beef, pork, and a variety of other foods. Let's take a look at some of the causes of food contamination and the responsibilities you have in reducing and eliminating food contamination. It's easy to eliminate food contamination if you understand the problem. Microorganisms can't be seen by the human eye, but they're practically everywhere. In the soil, dust, air, on rodents and insects, on unsanitary equipment, and on the body of every human being. These microorganisms can only be seen under a microscope. Shown here are some microorganisms or bacteria grown in a laboratory. The plate was contaminated with a dirty finger and was allowed to grow at room temperature. Bacteria multiplies at a very rapid rate. The longer bacteria is allowed to grow, the more contamination you'll have on the food or surfaces where food is prepared. When someone eats contaminated food, illness can occur. Bacteria is everywhere. Microorganisms are everywhere. But there's a bright light at the end of the tunnel. Most bacteria and microorganisms are not harmful. In fact, less than 1% of microorganisms are harmful to the human being. We need microorganisms to digest our food, decompose our sewage, and return waste products back to the soil. In your job, we're concerned with the microorganisms that can be harmful. Now let's take a look at how food can become contaminated. A food service worker has a skin infection on his neck and scratches it. His hands touch the chicken, and the microorganisms are planted on the chicken. Unfortunately, the chicken is stored at room temperature for several hours. The microorganisms multiply extremely fast. Someone eats the chicken, and then you have an illness created by harmful bacteria. We've learned that bacteria won't grow or multiply in cold temperature. Bacteria will remain on the food, but cold temperature doesn't kill them. The cold simply retards their growth. That tells us food should be refrigerated, and we've learned that a temperature of 40 degrees or less is recommended. We've also learned that anyone with skin infections or other health problems shouldn't work in food service areas. Many food service workers use disposable gloves or appropriate utensils when handling food to prevent potential contamination with bacteria.